In a place where winter lasts almost the entire year, life is a race against time. As the ice begins to melt, food disappears, migrations change, and all creatures are forced to fight more fiercely for survival. In the harsh Russian wilderness, a single mistake can cost lives. Wild Russia. Survival in Russia's harshest world. Spanning the Arctic Ocean, the northernmost regions of Russia are locked under meters of ice for most of the year. But when the first rays of spring sunshine appear, this white kingdom is no longer a safe haven, but is gradually crumbling into fragments. In that endless expanse of white, a mother bear is leading her two cubs, having just left their snow den. For 4 long months, the mother bear has not eaten or drunk. It had drained every millimeter of fat from its body, burning its own life force to produce milk, keeping those 2 tiny lives from being consumed by the cold in the dark cave. Now, the mother bear emerged with matted fur and a gaunt body. The entire family's hope of survival depended entirely on the upcoming hunts. But the sea ice, the floor that polar bears use to ambush prey, was melting faster each year. Each time, it had to swim through the dark crevices connecting the melting ice sheets. The mother bear had to struggle against the strong current, her eyes never leaving her 2 struggling cubs clinging to her. She was burning through the last vestiges of energy in her depleted body. If her efforts failed in the next few days, the mother bear would have no more milk. And those fragile cubs would forever remain under the snow before summer arrived. Amidst the melting ice, the mother bear stood motionless. Her 2 cubs were beginning to lose strength, their steps unsteady on the soft snow. Her milk glands were depleted, and the silence of her cubs was more terrifying than the blizzard itself. It was a sign of exhaustion. If she didn't find fresh meat now, death would be the next visitor to her family. But then, in the cold wind, the mother bear caught a glimmer of hope. More than a kilometer away, the rich, fatty smell of ring seal meat wafted into her nostrils. The seals were very sensitive. They lay right at the water's edge, ready to disappear into the sea at the slightest disturbance. Every half-minute or so, they would raise their heads to watch out for the lurking death. The mother bear knew this might be her last chance to save her cubs' lives. She ordered her cubs to stop and began a silent approach. She didn't walk, but slid belly up on the ice to hide her massive body. Every time the seal looked up, the mother bear froze, holding her breath so her heartbeat wouldn't disturb the snow. The distance narrowed. The ice under the bear's weight began to crackle with a dry, harsh sound. The seal began to stir, its nose raised in suspicion. The mother bear paused, her muscles tensing, preparing for the decisive pounce of her life. The moment her prey was distracted, the mother bear unleashed her strength. She lunged forward, slamming her front paws down on the ice. But the seal was quicker, leaping into the water, without a moment's hesitation. The mother bear plunged straight into the freezing sea. A swift struggle ensued beneath the surface. Just seconds later, the mother bear surfaced, using her steel teeth and sharp claws to pull her struggling prey out of the ice hole. A decisive pounce, ending all escape attempts and bringing her entire family back from the brink of death. The smell of fresh blood filled the air. The two cubs rushed forward, devouring the fat, a precious source of sustenance that kept them warm and gave them strength to continue. This meal was their salvation, bringing their cubs back from the brink of death. But in the Russian Arctic, one meal is never enough. As the ice recedes further, days of hunger like this will return, and the challenges for the mother bear will become even more severe. In a world on the verge of collapse, brute strength is sometimes meaningless without patience. The mother bear stood on the brink of despair, but she did not act in panic. It chooses silence, suppressing all its pain and gnawing hunger in each breath, waiting for the slightest opening in its prey's vigilance algorithm. Its success doesn't come from speed, but from its ability to control its instincts in exchange for a single explosive moment. In the polar regions, survival is not just a physical battle, but a test of resilience. This brutal hunt is essentially a link keeping the rhythm of the Arctic from being disrupted. When a mother bear takes down a seal, she inadvertently maintains the balance of Arctic cod populations in the deep sea, preventing a population explosion that could wipe out the ocean's food source. In the eternal loop of Russian nature, the survival of one species is always continued by the sacrifice of another. It is a cruel fairness, where death is not the end, but the transfer of energy to keep this picture of survival continuing amidst the vast expanse of ice. As the ice melts prematurely and seals become scarce, the male bears are driven to extreme hunger. At this point, the instincts of an opportunistic predator rise up ferociously. They begin to target their own kind. A giant male bear has been stalking the mother bear and her cubs for a long time, silently following the scent of milk in the wind and patiently waiting for a moment of vulnerability. The moment the mother bear lets her guard down, the predator suddenly explodes with speed, lunging straight towards the unfortunate cubs. The battle erupts swiftly but violently. Despite being smaller, the mother bear transforms into a true warrior, using her body as a steel shield between the enemy and her cubs. She doesn't hesitate to charge directly, using her sharp teeth to bite and tear at the neck and face of the male bear to halt its attack. Faced with the mother's furious and reckless resistance, the predator began to hesitate. It understood that a serious wound at this point would mean death. And the price for this meal had become uncontrollable. After a long, unsuccessful growling threat, the male bear silently disappeared into the fog. Once again, the ferocity of maternal love repelled death, keeping the mother and cub safe in the icy wilderness. In nature, maternal love is a weapon that can bridge any power gap. When cornered, the instinct to protect the next generation creates the strength that allows the weaker to subdue even the top predators in the food chain. The increase in intraspecific conflicts is a warning sign of a natural order being strangled. When humans from distant continents indirectly melt the permafrost, we inadvertently push bears into a slaughter of each other in their struggle for survival. As the ice recedes toward the poles, the rhythm of life in the Russian tundra shifts with the migration. Thousands of reindeer begin their long journey in search of fresh, mossy beds. But this journey is also a harsh test. From behind, a pack of gray wolves has begun to follow, silently observing every gap in the herd's formation. The wolves don't charge immediately. Instinct tells them that a kick from the reindeer's muscular legs could shatter the jaws of any predator. They choose to line up, running parallel to each other to create psychological pressure. In response to this threat, the reindeer don't just flee. The adult males begin to move to the edges, pointing their sharp antlers outwards like a mobile barbed wire fence to protect the young in the center. But the wolves are playing a longer game. They exploit their opponent's biological weakness. The reindeer's thick fur is too strong to withstand the cold, but becomes a thermal prison when they exert themselves. By constantly feinting and forcing the prey to change direction, the wolves force the reindeer to expend calories and cause their bodies to overheat to the point of exhaustion. The wolves win through persistence. After many kilometers of pursuit, cracks begin to appear in the reindeer's antler wall as individuals lose focus due to overheating. A young reindeer begins to fall behind, its small legs having to exert more effort to pull itself out of sinkholes in the snow. its breath becoming rapid, hot, and rising in a white plume in the cold air. Waiting for that moment when the defensive fortress cracks, the wolf pack immediately changes its pace. The wolf swerves, using its body to force the prey to turn into deeper snow where the reindeer's hooves become heavy. While the prey struggles to pull its leg free, the wolf bites firmly into the hamstring of the hind leg. This is the final blow, depriving it of its last chance to escape. The entire reindeer herd breaks formation amidst the chaotic clatter of hooves, forced to continue their charge, abandoning the weakest member to preserve the majority. After a race that exhausts every last drop of strength, the more persistent one reaps the well-deserved reward. In the harshest environments, collective strength is often more effective than the strength of a single individual. The survival of the wolf pack lies not in their sharp teeth, but in their ability to connect and share the burden. They demonstrate that in the longest races, understanding the limits of their opponent and relying on teammates is key to overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles. This ruthlessness is actually a necessary filter of nature. The wolf pack often eliminates the old, weak, or sick individuals, ensuring the reindeer herd's bloodline remains strong enough to complete the migration. Within this cycle of survival, predators keep prey populations healthy, ensuring that the tundra's rhythm never ceases. Leaving the endless chases across the tundra, we arrive at the southern Russian steppes, the home of giants from the Ice Age, the European bison. This is the largest land mammal on the continent. Each adult individual, a massive 1,000 kilograms. Spring brings fresh grass, but it's also when internal battles erupt most fiercely. Giant bulls constantly claw the earth, roaring to show off their strength. When neither side backs down, battle erupts. They charge at each other with enough force to break small trees. The clash of horns and skulls echoes across the fields like the drums of war. However, this noise quickly attracts the ghosts of the land. the wolves have appeared. They understood that after brutal confrontations, the loser would be exhausted, and that was when this living fortress would reveal its weaknesses. Wolves cannot bring down a bison with sheer strength. They hunt by dividing and causing panic. But here, the instinct for unity triumphed over fear. The moment they spotted an enemy, the internal conflict immediately ceased. The adults moved swiftly, coordinating seamlessly to form a massive defensive circle. They brought the calves to the center of the circle, turning their sharp horns outwards, creating an impenetrable wall of thorns. A reckless wolf attempted to slip through the gap between the bison's legs. Immediately, the alpha male charged forward like an armored vehicle. It rammed forcefully, kicking up dust and forcing the pack to flee in disarray. Faced with such unity and discipline, the wolves understood that there would be no dinner here today. Unity has helped the bison survive through thousands of years of the harshest conditions in history. In the harshest lands, unity is not a slogan, but a survival mechanism. The bison teaches us that, when faced with a common threat, setting aside personal conflicts to form a unified whole is the only way to keep the entire species alive. Bison are the builders of the steppe. Their heavy hooves churn the soil, helping seeds germinate. And their grazing habits maintain biodiversity in the fields. The recovery of the bison population in Russia is not only a conservation success, but also the return of a crucial link, keeping the balance of the entire southern ecosystem stable. As the thundering footsteps of the bison retreat into the grasslands, silence descends upon the wilderness. From the frigid polar regions to the southern steppes, Russia has always been a harsh but fair arena for survival, where every creature has a chance if it is resilient enough. However, that fairness is gradually being broken. The most remote and pristine lands on this planet are bearing the brunt of a bustling modern world beyond the horizon. Emissions and global warming, the result of humanity's relentless pace, have created a new and grim survival scenario. Ice doesn't melt naturally. It is being depleted by the indirect but intense intervention of humans. This forces mother bears to swim across deadly stretches of road, making the millennia-old migration routes of reindeer uncertain. Russian nature is struggling to adapt to changes it did not cause. Nevertheless, amidst the cracks of the old world, life refuses to surrender. From polar bears to steppe bison, all continue to write the epic of courage and extraordinary adaptability. They are not only battling hunger, but also fighting to maintain their place on a planet changing by the hour. Wild Russia is not just a picture of the hunt, but a quiet reminder of the inextricable connection between every human action and the fate of animals at the ends of the earth. For in this eternal cycle, when one link is broken, none of us can stand aside. Their survival lies not only in their claws or endurance, but also in humanity's choices. If you appreciate the extraordinary efforts of the creatures on this planet, join us in spreading the message of appreciating and preserving nature. Subscribe to our channel to continue our journeys in deciphering wild instincts around the world. Leave your comments below. Which animal do you think possesses the most impressive survival strategy in the video? Every act of concern you show today is a commitment to the survival of our forests and oceans in the future. Thank you for watching. Now, let nature continue to tell its own story. In a single fall, the eagle transforms altitude into a blade, crushing its prey without striking. Is this the true strength of the predator, or the technique of the eagle borrowing the Earth's very force to deliver its blow? Strength or technique? How the eagle uses the Earth's force to crush its prey. Wind sweeps across the high mountain ranges, gliding along the sheer cliffs and descending into deep ravines, where sunlight only reaches for a few brief moments each day. At this altitude, the ground is no longer a refuge, but a fragile boundary. Once crossed, there is no turning back. Life here exists in silence and vigilance. Every step is taken with absolute caution. Every creature remaining on the cliffs has learned one thing: mistakes are not allowed. There is no second chance. In that harsh environment, the struggle for survival unfolds in a different way. Here, the survivor is the one who understands the terrain, the wind, and that a single moment of imbalance is enough to end everything. And high above all that movement, a silent shadow appears. The eagle, the king of the sky. In this place, this king does not use brute force to dominate. So the question is, how or what does it win the hunt? The answer lies not in its body, but in the surrounding space. The eagle does not hunt in open plains where prey can escape. It chooses treacherous terrain where a single wrong step backward instantly negates all advantage. On a steep, rocky slope, a mountain goat is cautiously making its way across the smooth rock. Below it is a dark abyss, behind it a sheer cliff with no way back. The wind howled, carrying dust and the chill of the high altitude. High above, the eagle circled slowly. It didn't swoop down or approach immediately. It maintained its distance, locking its gaze on the prey that was standing in the wrong position. The goat was still strong enough. Its muscles were taut. Its hooves gripped the rock. But at the edge of this precipice, strength was only valuable if there was still a place to stand. The eagle gradually lowered its altitude. Beginning to employ techniques to force the prey to instinctively retreat. Half a step, the rock disappeared beneath the goat's feet. In that instant, the eagle swooped down, seized the prey, and pulled it away from the cliff. Below, the space opened up, deep and cold. And when the talons released their grip, the eagle was no longer in control of the hunt. Gravity began to strike. A fall from just a few dozen meters, the impact velocity exceeded the capacity of bones and internal organs to withstand. The higher you fall, the more meaningless all survival reflexes become. There's no way to spread your legs to cling on, no talons sharp enough to catch the wind. The eagle understands this better than any other species. And when the impact occurs, no further finishing blow is needed. The silence after the fall is the clearest evidence. This wasn't a victory of brute strength, but a victory of physics. In that moment, the eagle accomplished something very few predators could. It borrowed the power of the entire planet to execute its prey. But borrowing the power of the Earth is not a safe move. The moment the eagle holds its prey in its talons, the line between hunter and hunted becomes more fragile than ever. Because with just a small misstep, the price paid will not be the praise. Releasing too early, the prey might land in a non-fatal way. Releasing too late, the eagle is pulled by inertia, hurtling straight towards the abyss. There's no correction, no second chance. Just a slight deviation in the landing angle. A tenth of a second's delay. or miscalculating a headwind. What falls then is no longer prey, but possibly the eagle itself. This is why eagles don't hunt indiscriminately. So, when they can't borrow the power of the earth, how do eagles do it? Follow the next part to find the answer. Leaving the sheer cliffs, the story shifts to a completely different landscape. Here, the sky stretches endlessly. The ground is flat, arid, and stretches across sun-scorched, dusty grasslands. There are no deep chasms to swallow mistakes. No precipices to end a single fall. Life in this land unfolds under the scorching sun. Small flocks of birds forage close to the ground. Hares, marmots, and desert foxes appear and disappear in the low grass. Each species relies on a unique advantage: speed, hearing, or the ability to change direction in an instant. Here, prey has space to run. And predators, if they make a mistake, will pay the price right there on the open ground. High above, the eagle is still present. But now, the earth is no longer a waiting blade below. It is merely a vast, flat surface where every dive must be recalculated from the beginning. At this distance, the eagle cannot strike. Dive too early, and the prey will have time to change direction. A collision at the wrong angle could cause the eagle itself to lose its balance on the open ground. Therefore, it waits. Fly high, stay far, observe. The rabbit is no longer a living creature, but a series of repetitive movements: jump, stop, turn. Once the trajectory is clear, the eagle descends. Choosing the right wind. Choosing the angle of descent. Choosing a flight path that cuts across the escape route. And when the eagle closes its wings, the hunt is no longer about who is faster. But about who has anticipated which prey will be held back by the ground. The hunter swoops down. The chase for the prey erupts. In that instant, the eagle ceased to be a predator attacking, becoming a mass of energy carrying the Earth's gravity. The impact wasn't meant to crush, but to stun, to disorient, to derail the prey before it could react. In this hunt, the Earth still intervened, not with a drop into the abyss, but with altitude transformed into acceleration, and gravity becoming an invisible blow that ended the pursuit before it even began. After the falls, the dives, and the ruthlessly precise calculations, the eagle returned to its familiar state. Silently flying high, no triumphant cries. No ostentation. Only wind, altitude, and a survivor continuing its circling. Only in that moment did the true nature of the hunt become clear. The eagle wasn't the strongest in the wild. Nor was it the most reckless. Every hunt is a gamble, where a single misstep can instantly reverse the balance of survival. Understanding this, the eagle rarely chooses confrontation. It chooses calculation. When faced with a chasm, it lets go at the right moment, allowing the earth to strike instead. When there's no fall, it transforms altitude into acceleration, gravity into a strike. In every scenario, the eagle doesn't seek to overwhelm with brute force, but rather to put its prey in an unwinnable position. That's why the eagle stands firmly at the top of the food chain, not because of strength, but because of its ability to read the world around it. It understands the terrain, the space, the laws of Earth's motion, and knows how to use them without self-destruction. Ultimately, the original question returns. Strength or technique? The answer lies before us. The winner isn't the one with greater muscle, but the one who knows how to harness the world's power to fight for them. In nature, the earth doesn't take sides. But those who understand it most deeply will survive. And in that sky, the eagle doesn't reign because it's stronger. It reigns because it knows how to use the right force at the right time, in the right place, where a single fall can decide life or death. The Earth doesn't favor anyone. It simply provides equal gravitational force to all. The eagle has chosen to borrow that power to dominate the sky. So, in your opinion, if there were no abysses and acceleration, would the eagle still be at the top of the food chain? Or would another predator rise to the top? Share your perspective below. If you find this video valuable, Don't forget to subscribe to discover other top-notch survival strategies from nature.